making a sculpture, so not really sure what that's about. Oh, shut up, Grim. I know how much you'd want me to actually come visit someday. Maybe. I don't know. Up north is pretty hot, pretty dodgy. There's that town bell you've been talking about. I don't know about that. Um, so what is it? If that's about Queensland, is it true then apparently the girls in East Germany get off to pro-Russian sentiments? Well, um, I don't know about that for Germany, but yeah, it's probably the sake. Oh man, I don't know. Australia has like such a weird combination of population. Like literally in one store, you can have that guy that doesn't wear shoes. That's basically either got like 10 layers or one layer, and you know has like I don't know some kind of like spiked up hairdo or something like that. Then you can have like obviously like we all wear thongs. That's obvious. So you got like the guy that's walking around at thongs or whatever, and you know, rocking the mullet and all that sort of stuff. And then you've got like the guy who's overdressed with like the nice neat haircut, total like total sweetheart looking mama's boy kind of thing, and whatever. It'll be all in the one place in the one town. And you'll have like the beach bum guy that's literally just come off the surf. Um, and then you'll have like a business bloke, and it's like, what the fuck? Oh, don't forget the pub man. You always have a pub man too. The guy that has like too much beard for his face and a high vis jacket on, 100% every time. Um, yeah, of course I know about Ned Kelly. It's probably one of the biggest things that Australia kind of like rips into us about is knowing the lore of like the what do you call it, like the history of Ned Kelly and stuff like that. Strange bull has been found starved to death. That doesn't surprise me. Um, well, it depends. So, like, Ned Kelly, the actual outlaw and stuff like that, um, he himself and stuff like that, like, obviously, by the era that he lived in, he was an outlaw. But if you go by like movie Ned Kelly's, like good movie to watch if you haven't seen it is Reckless Kelly, and that is a fucking amazing movie. Like Yahoo Serious does like such a great job of portraying like a silly but kind of realistic what we would expect Ned Kelly to be like. And in his case, like he makes it seem fair. He makes the topic seem like it's genuine, fair, his reasons behind it. But it all depends on who you've got the information from. Like, have you received this information from the government? Like the historical government records saying that like, oh, this is all bad, blah blah blah. Or have you got like some kind of like a proposed story from like his perspective based on like some of the facts? It's like, as far as I'm concerned, growing up, Ned Kelly was like basically like the coolest shit. Um, we actually had neighbors down the street. It's a whole family with the last name Kelly, and we used to call them the Kelly Gang, stuff like that. They had like so many. They had so many boys, and it was just like you'd see like the gang of them just like getting around the street and stuff like that. So like, I don't know. I personally don't get too deep into, I guess, different topics of like right and wrong and stuff like that around Australia, especially with like some of the cultural shit that's happened. That's just not what I'm about. So my standpoint on a lot of this stuff is indifference. It didn't happen to any of my relatives and had no personal impact, and my family generation line or whatever had no personal impact. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not part of that. Um, Not in the sense of like, oh, I'm above or below it or whatever. It's just it's not related to me, so I don't argue about it and stuff. Um, well, the funny thing was, my dad used to be a police officer, so you know, honestly, I don't know. If you haven't seen Reckless Kelly, though, I definitely fucking recommend getting that. It's such a good movie. It's such a cringy movie in like how the era that it was shot in and how much like they really like cut corners financially on that movie to like just get it out there and stuff. But it was so good at the same time. Like I had that recorded on a VHS for so long. Um, yeah, no, I'm aware. I've just been letting the time run out. There's nothing I can really do at the moment. Um, and it's not so much you letting this run out. Like Grimm's been part of this culprit. It's mostly Grimm, honestly. Um, but yeah, I've just been like watching them make barrels and stuff like that, and I'm like, there's not much I can think to do besides maybe throwing down a couple of things. Like the drinks are getting up there, the food's going down. What I might do is actually go up to the surface. Oh, they got this fucking shit again, Misma. It only meant that there was a corpse from memory. So, what is the animal behind there dead? Let's see. This thing, rotten bull. Okay, so I said that they weren't allowed to have this shit in here. Wait, is it? That's not part of an area. Let's find the way up. So, you corpses. Why aren't you pricks getting corpses out? Because this is specific for corpses. Make it refuse as well. Make this a bit bigger. CC Ned is both good and bad. Like, he the people looked after them, but at the same time he did crimes, so it's a bit of a mix. Yeah, that's basically kind of like how I see it as well. Like, you can't typecast him as good or bad because he's both. And it's really just like if you're any kind of member of government or police or something like that, he's bad. And if you're not, he's good. And like I said before, like I don't have any particularly strong standpoint on it. But at the same time, like I don't know. He's not like not a good guy, he's not a bad guy. Take all of that. So, um yeah, no, that should be fine. So let's see. You don't have outlaws, but you have will be characterized as villains and heroes. I haven't heard of Otto von Bismarck. Um, I'm not too, unfortunately, I'm not too familiar in like worldly things because, like I said, like I don't tend to branch out and like, yeah, I don't get to like too political and stuff like that. So, if it's something that's happened in the past, historical or media based, I probably haven't even bothered to look it up. The blue jay remains. So there was something I was looking at too when I scrolled down because I was letting them fill up this area, and I was curious because I'm like they were nice and neatly bringing it down, and then they started going sideways, and I'm like, eh. But that should get the mesmer out of there. What is this? Seeds. Okay, seeds, and oh, I'm over here. So the only other thing I was looking at doing was potentially putting another thing down. Yeah, no, go for it, Grim. I might maybe play that later today, see how I feel. Still pretty tired. Um, yeah, see, a lot of that stuff, like, I don't follow a lot of that sort of stuff. Like, it's not so much that, like, I don't understand it or anything. It's more so, like, I just don't, I don't know, I guess I don't give time to thinking about stuff like that. Like, there's people out there at the moment that are bad people doing bad things, but at the same time, I'm like, there's nothing I can do about it. physically, there's nothing I can do about it. Um, that does make sense. That makes a lot more sense now you mention you're a historian, because I'm like you're going into like some sort of stuff that like I don't generally branch out to, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Um, gonna throw down a furnace. Oh, there's different types of furnaces. Maybe a wood furnace. Slap one of these babies down. Okay, I need what do I need? I have wood. I had wood. Okay, alright, I'll go up the top. Yeah, no, I had wood. I must have used it up over winter. Roll out. Alright. Now the horrific part of just doing this. I know that that was painful to watch, but I keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it until I understand this game. Let's let him at it. Yeah, no, historian's kind of cool. Like I said, like probably because I don't know, my school did a very shit job at teaching us history, so it never really like invoked passion in me to want to learn more. And I actually learned the most of it in primary school. We had a really friggin' good teacher in primary school that like really got into depth but made it interesting. So I was interested more as a kid, and I learned a lot more about like local stuff. See, Australia growing up was kind of like they really only taught you about a lot of local things and or about America. So if you wanted to know more than that, you had to specifically take a history class in high school to learn more. And then obviously, if you were still interested, you could go on to college and so on and so forth. However, history was not a particular passion of mine, so I obviously stunted it in primary school. Oh, we got more migrants. Why are you expedition leader? Um, yeah, well, see, that's the other thing too, is that a lot of Australians are descendants of various prisoners. So, or convicts, we call them convicts. And, like, so our perspective is that we were brought over here and did a lot of hard manual labor, and we're kind of semi left to die when they were like, yeah, no, we don't want to have like convicts of like we don't want to have prisons or shit over here or whatever that happened. And so they were like, cool, so just basically like obviously descendants made a society, so on and so forth, went forth, and generally our people are pretty chill, pretty laid back. Obviously you get a few bad eggs and stuff like that, but like for the most part we're like not really that much different, except that we've got like what 400 different languages that Australians speak on the census. So yeah, there's a fuck ton of diversity here. 15 more hours before the new season. Holy shit, that's dragging out much. Yeah, well, the other thing too is, for instance, I am a down the line descendant of, I think my two closest non Australian descendants are, there's, what is it, Irish German, and there's French German. So I'm technically descendant half German, one quarter French, one quarter Irish. Um, so like a lot of like Germany sort of stuff does appeal to like my direct family. Um, Even though like we don't know anybody that's recently come over. I'm talking about like actually quite a few generations back this has happened. Like God only knows how many generations back. I actually have like the family register from both sides of my family that document all the way back to when they came over and the towns that they previously used to live in and stuff. So it's really quite cool because I'm the youngest of the youngest on both sides of my family tree. So I got gifted that information to take care of, which is hilarious because I'm not procreating with kids. So at some point, I'm going to have to pass that information to a relative of my choosing or just let it disappear into obscurity. It's A or B. What is it? Your third gen of Scottish and English. I'm trying to picture that, Grim. That's like my brain doesn't compute that with you. Like French and German, unholy. Frenchman in love with English woman. Um, yeah, no, French, German, Irish, German. It's the Irish German side that's more perplexing for me because in my family, like we have got quite a strong German features. We've got the Irish skin and we've got the French bone structure. So it's really quite interesting because we've got the semi build of German, the bone structure of French, the skin layout of Irish, and it's fucking weird. Oh yeah, Scottish and English. Um, I wouldn't know what my great grandparents are. Oh, this part's dropped down. Hold up. Somewhere here, I've taken out a tree and it's dropped here. Okay, so let's scroll up here. Here it is. I remember this from last time. If you don't seal this, it's a problem for winter. I don't remember what I'm supposed to seal it with. Floors, maybe? Construction? I'll slap some floor on that and see how that works. It's just one cube of that. Maybe throw some oak on it. There was another spot I saw. Looked like it was here. That doesn't look like it's got a problem. Maybe I just slap it on there anyway and hope for the best. Slap some cherry wood because why be consistent? For the love of God, why the fuck be consistent? Um, so bringing in some wood, that's good. I think this is the only top level I've got, so I'm not concerned if they're not like if this part like has a problem. Let's hit play again. I have no idea what that phrase is. I couldn't even begin to pronounce it. Like I could see like where the capitalization could help me, but like the second word. I understand and the. I understand some basic like primary school level German. We got taught some German and I was actually really good at it when I was a kid. I never got taught it in high school. We had the option of I think it was German, French, Chinese, and I chose German, but I was slapped in remedial English because the stupid bitch teacher that I had was too busy talking about the dates that she was going on to actually teach us English. So, and all the other kids were lucky enough to have gone to normal schools where they got normal English taught, whereas I got my first 3 years of schooling, years 1 to 3, involved what was called creative learning. It was a new thing at the time. It was experimental. It was only brought in for 3 years, 3 to 5 years, and then it was gone. My brother missed it. My cousins missed it, except for one of my cousins got 1 year of it. But I had it for my first 3 years of learning language. And they had, so if you spelt cat K A T, you were right. You were correct. Good job. You could write home about it. Um, but when I got to year 4, that was unacceptable. And obviously, I had to learn how to spell cat as CAT. So there's a lot of shit where I have a lot of trouble with um, reading, pronunciation, what do you call it? Like sounding out words, spelling words specifically. And it didn't help that obviously I was only at my primary school for 2 more years. So I got 2 more years of semi basic English education before I went to high school. And then I got the same shit English teacher for 3 years who basically just refused to teach. Like her biggest thing was that she understood that the kids liked to encourage her to talk, and she really didn't like put the effort in. She's like, as long as you guys are able to pass the exams, I don't give a shit if you guys make me waste time. And I'm like sitting there being like, I desperately want to learn Japanese, and I'm not allowed to learn Japanese unless I can get passing grade in English. So I need to just shut up and teach me some English. And so I ended up in remedial English. So I had like 2 English classes. I fucking hated it. I fucking hated her. I ended up with her for homeroom as well. Fucking atrocious. Who the shit gives the same classes, like the same teacher, for that many years? Let's throw some willow logs there. And I saw over here, all these trees I've dug out are slowly collapsing, I noticed. I did learn that. That's at least something I figured out. Okay, so I missed a bit of conversation. So, there's a rat catcher. Oh, yeah. That was a big fucking profession at one point, especially for like farmlands and stuff. That was massive. You definitely have done with a few more of them in like some of the recent like flood plague things that we've had. Becomes by choice to Australia. I don't know. People that like fucking large spiders. That's my assumption. It's like, if you don't like that, why the fuck are you here? Like, why did you come here? If you're born here, you don't get that choice. But I mean, if you've got the option to come here, you don't like spiders. Why the fuck are you here? Okay, let's slap another one on here. Weird colors. Oh. Let's see. Still doesn't make sense. America had better chances. Yeah, to a degree, except if you were obviously of like an Irish descent, and then they had like what the potato wars and shit. Don't forget boxing kangaroos. I don't know. You don't fucking go anywhere near the kangaroos here. Have you seen them? Some of them are fucking 8 foot tall. Like literally 8 foot tall. Some of them are bigger than adult human males. Like the ones definitely that used to be out at like my grandparents' farms and stuff, for sure, were so fucking hugely scary. Big beasts of fucking kangaroos. Mind you, like it makes sense why their lean ass meat can go so far into like food and stuff. It really does. Alright. They're kind of bringing in the wood. I say kind of. Like, I've been patiently like waiting for them to do it, and I honestly think that they're making too many barrels at this point. Oh, don't mess with those fucking drop bears, Grim. You're kind of lucky though. It's like sort of where you are. You don't get as many fucking koalas as we do down here. Like you get some, but they're not as in your face. No, I kind of want an amount. I don't mind you guys making so many barrels. Maybe just keep like a stock of 3. It's the beds that I need to stop. Where are the beds? Yeah, keep extracting shit. Make wooden barrels, all that stuff. Hands, brew drinks. I wanted to see, not you, this. You. You're not making any beds? Good. You got 10 of 10. Maybe, I don't know, keep up about 5? See, they got wood here. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I don't actually have wood allowed on here. Maybe this is what it is. Kamikaze bears. Lol. Yeah. No, I gotta admit, there's like, you sometimes hear them, smell them. One of the areas I used to work at, I used to pass through. It was right next to a prison, and it had, for starters, it had a fuck ton of kangaroos. Like, it was literally one of those cases where, like, if you came to Australia, this was the spot where you get them bouncing across the road, and they fuck up your car. Like, you do not fuck up the kangaroo fucks up your car. It's basically like that Russian saying. Um, and yeah, in that area you'd get koalas and all sorts of shit. It was very, very scrubby. That's the other thing too, is a lot of people misunderstand when we're talking about like the bush or woodlands, forest, whatever. We're talking about scrub. We're talking about like ratty, shitty looking, scratchy, thin trees and shrubs and everything, but it's so dense You literally cannot walk through it without being scratched up by like four different things at one time, minimum. Um, I was doing some wood, wood. Just fucking allow wood. Oh. There we go. I'm like, I've been looking at this for a while, and I've seen like a couple of bits come in, and I'm like, it seems more like they've dropped them. And then in here, I'm like, their wood capacity is at max. So I'm like, logically speaking, they should be able to bring all this in. And it dawned on me, if I have a wood space downstairs, down here, then this area is probably not set for wood. So they should start bringing wood in finally. Yeah, to be fair, like the types of cars that get sold in Australia is regional too. Because like the more inner city you are, the more plastic little, like, I don't know, tiny cars that you get, which are like basically they would crumple up around a roo if they even like looked at them the wrong way. But the ones that you get more towards like the rural areas and stuff like that, and I'm talking about like you start with like the four-wheel drive kind of ute looking vehicles and you go up from there kind of thing. And then the fucking size of the bull bars and stuff that we have on our vehicles here in Australia like just to prevent the whole car from being fucked up. Oh man. I saw a meme of a cat that looked like he was going to invade Poland. He had all the right colors in the right places, and he looked very angry about his art being dismissed. Let's see. I'm still slapping down like floors and stuff, and I don't actually know if they're making them. Let's take it up here. It's here. Another spot. So far, I don't know if I'm supposed to make a floor that's wider than one square or if it just works. There's another spot and another one there. Seeing barrels on the surface, and I'm not supposed to be seeing barrels up there. What? Uh, you have drinks. That's your own fucking fault. I'm not dealing with your stupidity. You guys better move that shit out of the base, so dealing with that. I mean, that cat could have been an artist. It it may have had a very distinct looking mustache. I also saw a freaking cat the other day that literally actually looked like it had like some kind of eyeglasses, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with animal patterns lately? Like, where in the breeding genetics has this occurred that an animal looks like this? I don't think wood's supposed to be down there, but that's okay. Oh, man. That looked like it was a hole. I'm just trying to look for movement because a lot of this looks kind of same to me at this point in time. Like that looks like it's a drop down, right? I don't know if I can put something there, but I'll slap it down and see if it goes. I do not know how many months it takes them to stop having grass growing underground from where the holes were. uh, isn't that what Keeps is for? I'm not sponsored, but I see enough fucking people like talking about it that soon there'll be like an actual generation of men that have not gone bald. Well, oh man, that's almost one. So I'll have to wrap this up, finish putting down a couple of spots. I've been mostly just kind of like, I had like a pretty good run earlier where I learned a heap of stuff by like um accidentally just getting into spots and finding out information and stuff. And then I had like, I've been mostly just letting them actually just bring in stuff, try to build up. Like they got 400 drinks now, which is pretty boss. They obviously don't have much meat, but I don't know how to fish and hunt And I don't want to completely decimate all the animals because I'm like, once they're gone, they're gone. And in an event where I have no meat, I need that for emergency. And there's more spots down here. No, it's all good, Grim. I appreciate you managing to get in today. I know you've been trying, and I've been like either unwell, hospital, or um, yeah, just change of stream dates and times and stuff like that. So it's been a bit of a mess around. Yeah, well, up his way, because he's much further north than where I am, he's got like the really, really big fucking roos out his way. I've got the ones that span from being, say, the size of a child through to being about the size of an adult male human. Um, don't do that. The French already surrender. I just looked over and read that, and I'm just like, I just wasn't prepared on any level for that. Um, I appreciate the giggles though. Uh, it's definitely I'm enjoying playing this more with the sense that like, okay, I 100% still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I am enjoying it more. I think that's like a good thing because it's a very hard game, and the first couple of times I played it were extremely tiring. Like I literally didn't get sleep the days beforehand and afterwards and stuff like that. Like it just stressed me out so much to figure out how to play this game. And I do want to actually learn how to play it over time. And quite frankly, I don't mind if like my base fails because I'll just make another one at some point. But I've figured out so much more stuff. Speed running the French surrender. Well, look, they're more than speed run. I think they're like, is it, what do you call like pro? They're not like pro athletes. I'm trying to like make a esports rip at the same time, and I just, my brain has failed me. Let's slap you there. And I saw something else over here was open, and then I lost it. I don't know. We have another follower who loves to come in and occasionally just speak in Russian just because he can. I'll never know if he's just saying like the most basic Russian sentence or if he's actually like saying something hateful. They don't speak it. Yeah, it's February. What do you invade in February? What's your February target? Oh, yeah. Russia would be cold now. Hmm. I'm curious to see when they bring in like more. I've heard that you can um have like diplomacies and get libraries and all sorts of shit, but like second summer, 24 people, and this much food and drinks. Like meat's low, but like the rest of it's okay. Like I'm not too mad. Like I know I have not done too much, but at the same time, like to have that many drinks, I don't feel like they're gonna die of thirst. I just don't know how to hunt for things. What do you mean it's late game? It's the second summer. Plus, you said that you've had like 1 to 200 people bases before, so 24 people is hardly late game. Oh, no diplomacy. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe there has been. I just don't know where to go. What is this? Information. That's work orders. What's objects? Huh. How did I not find this one earlier? I was flicking through this. Weird. Yeah, look, I don't know. I've looked at this tab for the very, very first time today. I figured out how to like look at people closer. I figured out how to slaughter, which they still fucking haven't done that, by the way. Lazy pricks. We have got dead animal. Ooh, there's a dead child. Is this over in the thingy? If you're not, you're probably stinking up the base. Oh no, you're in the thingy. They did the thing. I don't know what words are anymore. It's fine. Weird. Holy shit. Okay. This is giving me 100% as awful as my RimWorld base. I don't know. As far as I know, where is that? Where is that chick? I don't trust this chick. Where is she in my thing? It's not creatures. I thought you could go on to people there. People? Yeah. This chick. So I clicked on her. Where are you? Hold up. I saw her run off. There she is. You. So you made something the other day because you were sad that you couldn't pray to whatever god. Look, I don't trust this chick. She looks like she's like evil as fuck. Look at her. It's like stone cold eyes and a bald ass head and like yeah, she reminds me of like an undead. This thing. This Thukin fucking doesn't even like glitch through the thing. But yeah, she like prays to this god or whatever. I assume that that's who was, you know, the child was sacrificed to. That's my assumptions. Still patching up this fucking roof. I was trying not to take down all the trees straight up because I know that this can happen. But at least it didn't happen during winter for once. But yeah, I have a small military. I don't even know if they're doing a thing. They could be doing a thing, I'm not sure. I have a few people doing stuff in another capacity doing stuff. I haven't looked in there yet. I'll look in there next week, if I remember. Beyond that, oh yeah, this is all one tab, duh. I was making something. I did make some beds for them, so at least they've got somewhere to sleep. I was making furnace. That's it. They wouldn't let me make a furnace because I didn't have enough wood. I think I've got enough wood. Do you guys think I got enough wood? No? Mine rock or chop trees. I save building materials, non-economic. Oh, I probably need stone. And you know what? This fucking sand doesn't give me any fucking stone. My opinion of Tasmania, it is cold, abundant of like foods and like crops and shit. It's cut off. Supposedly pretty. Never been. My partner has some friends that moved down there for like some kind of job, and it's one of those places where here's the funny conspiracy logic, right? Australians like the fact that the detached little island of Tasmania is part of Australia. We identify that as part of Australia. However, a lot of the world seems to think that New Zealand is also part of Australia, and we think it's not because it's a little bit further out in the water than Tasmania is to us. So it's really fucking weird. Like, Australia is a weird place to be because, like I said, we've got so many different nationalities, different languages. We've got all these like little smaller islands that don't even really show up too much. I don't know. I got a few people from overseas mentioning it now and then. There was also a few Australians that were under the impression that it was part of Australia. It was a weird topic and a weird thing to realize because, like, from my perspective, I've okay, it's basically the same shit as like, is Pluto a planet or not? And depending on when you're born, it is and it isn't, or depending on who your parents like what generation your parents are from as to what they do and don't teach you. If you have a family of friends, in particular, a strong connection with New Zealanders and stuff like that, a lot of people will be like, well, they're Australian, because there's quite a lot of New Zealanders here in Australia. But yeah, I don't know. It's also a very pretty place, apparently. Basically, well, pretty much Australia recognizes like a lot of different islands. So, like, whenever we refer to like islanders of different types, it could be a variety of different people and stuff like that. But to us, they're just, I don't know, neighbors, friends, cousins, family, all that sort of stuff. It's kind of cool. Australia's kind of like mostly chill about most of this stuff. Part of it's like, A, we don't give a fuck, and B, it doesn't phase us, so why get stressed about it? But I'm going to end my stream here today. Um, Mostly normally stream between 10 and 1. I'll be looking at my times and stuff like that, and be sort of looking over that in the future, because as I said at the start of the stream, it may conflict with, I have like new medicine and stuff like that that I'll be going on over the next couple months and stuff, and I'll have like a lot of hospital back and forth and a lot of tests and stuff done every fortnight. So I may be able to stream like 3 days a week, but miss one of the days, one of the random games and stuff like that. But yeah, there's RimWorld, Dwarf Fortress, 7 Days to Die, and PUBG from Tuesday to Friday. So any of those games, they'll be there. Um, and otherwise, thank you guys. Thank you everybody that's given me assistance today with Dwarf Fortress. I always appreciate you guys coming and helping me and stuff. This game is quite complex, and even though I like learnt a fair bit, there was a fair bit of time that I just let them mull around and just be dwarfs and bring stuff in. So yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks Pervy Grim and James Games. Appreciate you guys chatting with me for a while, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.